Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Restore to SahibulSaif. Now to our right to Islam, to Khalwan, to Riyadh, to Sultan. Hasbunallah ni'mal wakil. Inshallah Rahman, we are asking support from the holy ones, from our Shaykh, asking support that those ones who are sitting in divine presence, they may send something to us that is going to give us benefit. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, the best kind of knowledge is the knowledge that you experience. And the knowledge that does not give you benefit, that is a cursed knowledge. Majority are running after knowledge these days. But what is a cursed knowledge and what is a knowledge that brings you benefit? This is marifat in these days. This very important question, the Anbiya, the prophets and their inheritors, the awliya Allah, to a group of people who are looking beyond what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us in this world. These are the ones that they want to rise above the prison of the five senses, to look to that reality of the senses what we had before we came into this world, that we're going to enter into that reality after. And the small group looking not according to the plans of mankind, not according to the plans of regimes and governments, not according to the plans of their ego and their desires, from individuals to communities to the whole worldwide, but they're looking to see the plans of the blessed planner. The best planner is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are still some who's able to see, not see like that, but they're able to see what is that plan, and they go according to that plan. And their way sometimes may be a little bit crazy. Maybe it's not going to enter into worldly intelligence. But you know, all prophets, they've been called crazy. All awliya, they've been said to be crazy. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying in the Akhir Zaman, if they don't call you crazy, you are not a believer. So, not to say you are crazy and you're just going to follow your ego. Not to say you're crazy, you're just going to take this religion of Islam and the holy tarikats in Islam and go according to your own desires, to change the Shariat, to change the meanings according to who pays you, or according to what women's they like, or according to what men's they like, or according to what regime or society. It's according to what Allah and His Prophet ﷺ they like. This is important, because these are the days of the Urs of Sultan Mehmed Fatihan. Jannat Mekan, inshallah. That majority of the Muslims, they are forgotten. What he did was huge. What he did was momentous in Islam, in the history of the world. Because in 1453 he ended Roman law, and it is the beginning of Islamic law as a global power that is east and west, no longer just concentrating on the east, but now going into the heart of the west. Whose plan is this? This is not his plan. To take the Constantinople, Istanbul, Islambul, where Islam is high, it is not his plan. It is the plan of Allah. It is the plan of the Prophet ﷺ. And from the time of the Prophet ﷺ to the time of Sultan Mehmed Fatih in 1453, say about 700, 800 years pass, no? And the Muslims have always been sending armies to try to conquer it. That's okay, they're getting excited. It's this kind of neighborhood. So they're trying to come into Constantinople since the time of Hazreti Osman, Hazreti Muawiyah radiallahu an. During the time of the Abbasis, during the time of the Umayyas, continuing. They've been trying, they brought armies there. No permission is given. Ayyub Sultan. Who was Ayyub Sultan? Hazreti Ayyub al-Ansari radiallahu an. Who was he and why did he end up there in the walls of Constantinople? They didn't go there because they want to get the riches of Constantinople. They were going there because the Prophet is saying the one who takes over, he is going to be the best of the leaders, and his army is going to be the best of the armies from the beginning of time up till the end of time. And when that Byzantine Emperor, just to mess around with the Muslims, I believe it was during the time of Hazreti Muawiyah's time. Before that, Hazreti Ayyub Sultan already went there, and he passed, and he said, if I pass, bury me here. They know what they're doing, because the awliya, the sahabis, the tabi'ins, wherever they are buried, that time the tajalli of Allah is going to rain on that area. They're laying down the seeds for future when it's going to be open for Allah, for Haqq. And you're going to see, the world is going to discover now the whole globe, it is littered, seeded with the maqams of sahabis. Even in North America here, the sahabis they reached, especially in that area where Shaykh Efendi was saying in I forget where it was. They landed and they were buried there too, because there are 124,000 sahabis. They went all the way to China, moving through the Straits of Malacca to China, to everywhere. Because if it doesn't happen during that time, it's going to happen soon. You see how these Mubarak ones, even after they pass, they're still working for Islam. They're still making the hijrah. They're still pulling people with that power that is in the maqam. They're still pulling people. So when the Byzantine Emperor is saying, just to mess around with the Muslims, because he's seeing Hazreti Muawiyah was having the war, the battle with Hazreti Ali, he's saying, we're going to send word to them. We're going to find the grave of Hazreti Ayyub Sultan, and we're going to dig it up. When Hazreti Muawiyah heard that, he sent a message to them, and he said, if you dare touch one stone from his maqam, every church that you're going to see, from where we're ruling up till the lands where the Rum is ruling, every church we will destroy. Every Christian tomb we will destroy. You are speaking to a race of people, a group of people that they are not afraid to die for the sake of Allah. I will stop this war with Hazreti Ali, he's saying, and all of us will wage war to you. What is he speaking from? This is a sense of honor. There is a sense of ashq. Everything for the sake of Allah. You say, I will burn, no problem. This is how the Prophet was. This is how the Sahaba Kiram were. I will burn, no problem. Just to get one smile from you. As later, 800 years later, when Sultan Mehmed Fatih wrote in that poem, he says, what is Constantinople? What is Egypt? I would burn all of Egypt if I can get just one smile from your face, one rose smile from you. Talking to who? To the Holy Prophet ﷺ. When there is this fire with the Muslims, then yes, east and west, north and south, it is open. Because it is not for revenge, it is not for hatred, it is not for riches, it is not to say put this group down, put this group up, but it is because of Janabul Haq, because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and because the Prophet ﷺ, he is Rahmatan lil Alameen. Whatever his sword touches, we wish his sword were to cut our neck. How blessed it would be. Just as once he had prisoners of war and they were all tied up and he was looking at them and smiling, and they were saying to themselves, what kind of a prophet is this? He's looking at us, we were his prisoners, and he's smiling. Because at that time, as it is today, if you're a prisoner, you have no right. They can do anything they want with you. And all the laws saying it's okay to. Geneva Convention, who cares what Geneva Convention is doing? But the Prophet ﷺ, he did not allow it. He smiled back to them and he said, oh, don't you know that even my prisoners, they go to paradise with me? Because what they are doing now, it is very easy to conquer the land. Very easy. Genghis Khan conquered the land. East to west, north, he conquered. The Iskandar, Alexander the Great, I'm not talking about Zulkarnain. Zulkarnain is completely different. Zulkarnain is old son. It's completely different. Iskandar is different. Alexander the Great is that Greek Macedonian king. It is different. Don't mix up the two. Quran is talking about Zulkarnain, who is a prophet, not Iskandar. He conquered everywhere too. I believe he named 1,000 cities after his own name, Alexandria. Can you imagine? 1,000 cities. Today only a handful is left. So easy to conquer. Don't you know? America has conquered the whole world. Russia is trying to conquer. China is trying. It's so easy to conquer. But try to conquer people's hearts. This is the most difficult thing. Conquering their hearts. So when Sultan Mehmed Fatih Khan, he had difficulties, yes, going to conquer the Istanbul. He was raised to conquer Istanbul. His Shaykh Akshamsuddin saying to the father, you will not, but big possibility your son is going to be. And his son was honed from very young to take over that. Still he was having difficulty. What did he do? He prayed. And he asked his Shaykh, and his Shaykh is saying, reason why you cannot enter into that city is because there is a friend of Allah living in Constantinople right now. That friend of Allah, that awliya, that wali, he is inside and he is the sahib of the city. Without his permission, you cannot enter. You can do whatever you want. You can bring the biggest guns. You cannot enter. It is the truth. That time, it is still the truth today. There are unseen ones who are the sahibs of different places. Without their permission, nothing can happen. And that one is not giving you permission to enter. Because he is saying, Prophet is saying, whoever conquers the city, he did not say how you're going to conquer. He says, I'm going to conquer their hearts. So don't touch my little Greeks, he's saying. Because I want to conquer their hearts. You're trying to conquer with the guns and everything. I don't like that. So he's not giving permission. So now how are small minds going to understand how one awliya and another awliya, both working for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, But they seem to be fighting each other. They are not fighting each other. They are racing in the way of Allah. So when that was told to Sultan Mehmed Fatih, and he was told by a Shaykh, tonight you're not going to sleep. Whole night long you're going to be in sajda, and you're going to ask Allah either to remove him who is in that city and to let us enter, or to remove you. Cannot be two. One has to win. Whole night long he believed. He went to sajda whole night long. He was praying, either remove that one or remove me. He believed. And when the morning time came, he was still there. The news came that that one, through spiritual way, Allah had taken his life. The way is open. Then that time, once the permission is given, all it takes is just some intelligence to figure out how to get there. Some intelligence and a lot of craziness, a lot of guts, you know. That's when they're saying, Sultan, we cannot bring the ships to the water because they put a huge chain there that you cannot enter. He's saying you cannot bring the ships into the water, then bring the water to the ships. We have to empty that lake, the sea. He's talking, empty it. He was very Jalal, that Sultan. So many in his following him too. They were not, let's say, liking him too much because he's very Jalal. They believe, they trust, they love him, but they don't like him too much. You understand? Because his way is very strong. And that's when he says, bring the ships over the mountains. And the morning time, the Greeks, they woke up and the ships are right inside of them, right inside the water, in front of them. Whole night long. They brought 73 ships right over the mountains on logs, and his people like you and me, pulling it without sweat, without blood, without tears. Then it happened that when Sultan Mehmed Fatih Khan, he passed, when he was veiled from this world, the Vatican issued a decree that 3 days non-stop the bells in Europe, they're ringing to celebrate. You understand? So, what is that other poem he's saying? Wake up, you're living legend. When you believe that your life, it is a legend, that your life, it is not just to work 9 to 5 to feed your families, to own a house, to live and then to die, to eat and drink and to have children, and you believe that your mission, because we are Muslims, that our mission is much bigger than ourselves, that our mission as believers, it is the mission of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, then you're not going to rest. Because your vision and your mission and your look, it is much bigger than what you are. And you're going to run after that. It doesn't matter if you cannot do anything. But your will and your intention, it is huge. And you're longing for that. What are we longing for? Are we longing for Haqq to return? Are we longing for the Khalifah to return? Are we longing for the Sharia to return? Or are we longing that we're going to move to a bigger house? Or are we longing that our children, our people, our country, our own selfish, materialistic dunya ambitions, they are met? Islam, for over 1,400 years, they put Allah and His Prophet first, and Allah is giving everything that the dunya has to offer to them too, to us too. You run after the akhirat, the dunya, it is given an order to run after you. Because your heart is for Allah, everything comes. When you put the dunya in your heart, you're running after the heart. But in reality, you look to the heart, there's only the dunya. The dunya is given a command to run away from us. Try to chase it. It's for nothing. You have to know what the plan is. You have to be with the people who know what the plan is. Especially these days, everyone has that shaitan box in their hands, that fitna Facebook in their hands. They're getting so much words, not even information or knowledge. Everything is confusing. Now it is more than ever the fitna, understanding a little bit when the Prophet ﷺ says, the fitna of Dajjal, the fitna of the Akhir Zaman, no one is going to be free from it. No one is going to escape. Everyone is going to be in that fitna of Dajjal. One post you can put over there, whole world now is going to be on fire, believing in one post, one fitna. Correct or no? Now they come up with technology also through that. Before, they can have the technology to capture your voice or anyone's voice, and any word that you type in, it will have your voice in there. It will be as if you are speaking that. They had that some years ago. Now they have the technology just from the pictures that are there to have a recording of you physically saying and doing whatever that they want you to do. This kind of fitna, how are you going to people's head if they see something in there and they say, you did it, the proof is there, you did it. You're seen with this woman, you're seen with this man, you're doing all these things. You say, it's not me. What are you going to say? So their plans may be a bit crazy, but it's not really, because the Prophet ﷺ is saying, pull yourself back a little bit. Pull yourself to the mountains. Live simple. Whatever that you have in your religion, hold on to it. Don't go looking for too much, because there's so much confusion out there. Be sincere, be good ones. Prepare for Hazrat Mahdi alayhi salam. Wait for him. Mahdi alayhi salam is going to come to destroy the fitna of Dajjal. If you are not aware of this fitna of Dajjal happening right now, you cannot be with him later. Because later, black may be white and white may be black. Kafara, the kufr on the forehead of Dajjal, will only be seen by those who have the nur of Allah, the believers, not for everyone. Majority, they're going to follow Dajjal. Dajjal is going to come in the form of prophets. He's going to wear the clothes of prophets. Majority are going to run after him. He's going to say, I am a wali. Later he's going to say, I'm a prophet. To the closer ones, he's going to say, I'm actually Allah. And they're going to follow. They're going to believe. And the majority, they are going to be women. This is hadith. What are we doing? We're not here fighting against anyone. We're saying pull back and understand what those plans are, and to live our life simple and sincere, inshallah, as much as we can. We're asking Allah for forgiveness. We are very useless, dirty ones, but we're asking Him through the intercession of His Holy Prophet ﷺ, and through all the Anbiya and the Awliya, and to our Shaykhs, inshallah, to keep us in safety here and hereafter. To fight first against our shaitan, to fight against our nafs, to fight against to our dunya and our hawa, to understand the hundreds and thousands of tricks and traps, so that we will not be tricked by Dajjal later. May Allah forgive me and bless you for the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. SahibulSaif, Al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.